Hey folks, I'm Justin from Dollarwise Gamers, and this is the Dollarwise Bundle Breakdown. Today we're going to be looking at the Humble Jumbo Bundle 8. Our philosophy is that for a game to be a Dollarwise deal, you should get roughly 1 hour of enjoyment for every dollar you spend on it. Humble Bundle is a great way to get some cool games for cheap while supporting charities and developers. I currently choose to support Doctors Without Borders. What we're going to do is check out each tier, what games it offers, and whether or not we think it's a Dollarwise deal. There are time codes in the description if you want to look at one particular game or tier, so let's dive in. The first tier starts at only $1 and includes the games Valhalla Hills, Legend of Eisenwald, and the Journey Down 1 and 2 bundle. Valhalla Hills is a single-player isometric fantasy city builder simulation from Fanatics Software, and it came out in late 2015. Its Metascore is 69 from 26 critics and a user review of 6.9 from 35 users. Its best price was $7.49, and that was in January of 2017. Now, this game has a cute feel to it, nothing amazing or over the top. The city builder is pretty straightforward and a tried and true method. However, I didn't find it very fun, but I do know who might though. This game reminds me of a lot of the types of social media games that you typically find on like Facebook, but with the added benefit of better graphics, superior animations, and the simple joy of not having to pester your IRL friends to come and click something so that you can unlock that next level in the game. This game is made for people that enjoy that style of city builder. You will get quite a few hours out of this one. Legends of Eisenwald is a single-player turn-based strategy RPG from Verdun Entertainment, and it came out mid-2015. It has a 71 Metascore from 17 critics and an 8.0 user review score from 72 users. Best price is $4.99, and that was in March of 2017, so very recently. And this game is kind of a sleeper amongst this tier. It's pretty fantastic if you can deal with the copious amounts of dialogue to read and the incredibly basic tutorial it gives you. I mean, basically there are static images showing you what each icon is on the screen and what they do, kind of like they forgot that video games can move and flash and stuff. But that being said, it didn't really get in the way. I felt that it was pretty intuitive and had a level of challenge that seemed right at the normal difficulty. The graphics seemed a bit lackluster, but the hand-drawn art, the look of the world, and the animations seemed to offset the goofy-looking models and the low-resolution textures. I can see why critics gave this one a hard time. It seems to need a bit more depth in the strategy and the combat, as the game feels a bit simplistic, but likewise it also makes sense that users really enjoyed it. It's fun, it's easy to pick up, and it makes you want to play more. The Journey Down 1 and 2 bundle is a single-player 3D point-and-click adventure game. It's from Sky Goblin, and it came out early 2013 for the first one and mid-2014 for the second one. The first one had a Metascore of 72 from 20 critics, and the second one had a Metascore of 78 from 11 critics. The first one had a user score of 7.6 from 37 users, and then the second one 7.1 from 18 users. Best price for the bundle was $5.99, and that was in December of 2016. I don't even know where to begin with this game. It's pretty dull. The writing's weak, the characters are not fun and quirky, and it seemed to forget that a hallmark of point-and-click games in this style make it a point of not trying to take themselves seriously. No, wait. Actually, it's like they knew that, but were like, hey guys, let's turn up the non-seriousness up to 11. Then they wrote a script, didn't decide if any of the jokes or story made sense, and just dumped the player in with a hackneyed exposition, flat characters, and a strange plot direction. This wouldn't be too bad if the point-and-click aspects were actually good, but they aren't. They're childish. Seriously childish. This game is not worth your time, and I'd probably steer clear. Now, I really love it when a $1 tier hits home. This one doesn't quite get there. There's two pretty solid games here that have some unique gameplay, and there's probably something in here for everyone for the most part. Probably everyone will get at least a few hours of entertainment out of this tier, and that's what makes it a Dollarwise deal. But I don't think that there's very many people that are gonna like the Journey Down. If I'm wrong on this, please let me know. The second tier is based on an average donations, currently sits at $7.27 and includes the additional games Warhammer End Times Vermintide, Jotun, and Turmoil, plus some additional games that release after the first week. Warhammer End Times Vermintide is a single, multi, or co-op first-person fantasy action hack and slash from Fat Shark. It came out late 2015. The Metascore is 79 from 39 critics, and the user reviews was 7.9 from 247 users. Its best price was $8.10, and that was in February of 2017. Now, this was a game I've heard many reviewers lauding when it released, and I can see why. Imagine Left 4 Dead, but in a fantasy RPG setting, and you get a good idea of what this game is like. Games like Left 4 Dead have a decent amount of replayability, but I can't imagine this game standing the test of time. Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 had one thing going for it that this game doesn't have, and that's modding. This game doesn't have that same level of commitment. And while it has lots of weapons to unlock and a decent amount of downloadable content, it will eventually lose its novelty, but not before you get many hours of entertainment out of it. Jotun is a single-player isometric hand-drawn action-adventure from Thunder Lotus Games. Came out late 2015. The Metascore was 79 from 28 critics and a user review of 7.2 from 43 users. Best price we found, it was $4.99, and that was in March of 2017. There are so many games that merge a solid gameplay, music, and art, and this is one of those beautiful games that more people should be aware of. It has a great art style that utilizes a hand-drawn, frame-by-frame art style. Add to this solid music and a voiceover, and this game is great to play. Sort of. The two biggest areas it drops the ball is in game length and lack of combat. It could also do more to have a deeper story and more character development. The lack of combat makes it seem like an exploration puzzle game, but it seems to be a little light in this area too, so not quite action and not quite adventure, but not really a good mix, just a little thin. Also, this game you're going to beat in a short afternoon, 5 or 6 hours at the most. You're generally going to enjoy it, but you're going to wish there was more. Turmoil is a single-player 2D management simulation game. It's from Gamius and came out mid-2016. The Metascore was 73 from 4 critics and a user review of 8.3 from 6 users. Best price was $5.99, and that was in January of 2017. This is another cute little game that starts out pretty simple and then becomes more and more complicated as time goes on, but on a pretty scaled-down version. It's almost a light management sim, but it was entertaining, and it has a decent hook to get you started. There's nothing groundbreaking here, but it's interesting and a good time waster. There's nothing spectacular here. It's solid, and it does what it tries to do. It's not breaking new ground, but it's not really trying to. It's just aimed at simple diversionary entertainment. Now I realize that since I started working on this video, 3 more games have released, and that's Orion Legacy of the Coriodan, Void Destroyer, and the interactive adventures of Dogman Doncha and Pizza Boy. I will not be addressing those. I'm sorry. However, I don't really need to. These other 3 games, along with this bundle, makes it a solid purchase. At a mere $7 or $8, you're going to get many hours worth of entertainment. Some cute, some challenging, all of it fun. Certainly a Dollarwise deal. The third and final tier requires a donation of $10 and includes Verdun. Verdun is a multiplayer and co-op first-person historical first-person shooter. It's from M2H and Black Mill Games, came out early 2015. The Metascore was 70 from 17 critics and an 8.0 from 107 users. Its best price was $4.24, and that was in December of 2013. This game feels like a cheap man's Battlefield 1, and this is coming from someone that's never played Battlefield 1. I feel bad because it released long before it, but you can tell it just doesn't have 100% of what it needs to be amazing. The movement seems sloppy, it feels a bit like you're trying to drive a tank. The guns feel weak, but granted I only got to shoot one because you can only play in a certain roles based on your team thing. Honestly, the only thing this game really has going for it, it's the set pieces look beautiful. However, the animations are stiff, and the goals were not very well defined. There's not really a story, and it's meant to only be played online multiplayer, which makes it both harder to test and harder to learn. I didn't really enjoy it, and I'll tell you what, I was glad to be done with it. So this tier just didn't have it. Verdun is not really worth your time. I'd save yourself a few bucks and just let this one slide. It's fairly unlikely that you're going to get very much out of this game, so I really don't recommend this tier. So where does this leave us? Pretty simple. Pick up the second tier if you can afford it. If not, drop $1 on the first tier and have fun. But I would steer clear of Verdun. It's just not worth it for most gamers. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to thumbs up this video, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any suggestions for bundles, bundle sites, or games you'd like to get the Dollarwise seal of approval on, well, just shoot us a message on our website, dollarwisegamers.com, or just comment on this video. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and as always, I'm looking to give away some games, and also, as always, most of the people I contact never bother to contact me back. I really want to get rid of these games, and you really only have to comment. And also, you have to message me or email me if I reach out to you and to give you a game. Like, seriously, I have too many games. Now, if you do take the time to comment, email, or tweet at me with the thoughts on this bundle, I'm going to choose 1 to 10 people, and I'll give each of you one of the keys. So take a moment, please just scroll down, shoot us a comment, and then don't forget to get back to me when I let you know that you've been selected. Thanks again, and as always, enjoy your existence.